Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. In today's video I'm going to give you guys a look at a new maker that I have been in contact with on Instagram for a little while. We're going to take a look at the ACP model by Purvis. So Adam is a part-time firefighter, or full-time firefighter, part-time knife maker, and we are taking a look at the ACP model, and this is the 7th completed knife he's ever built. So definitely new, definitely learning his craft. And I love sharing new makers with you guys for a number of reasons. But let's take a look at this knife here. This is about a week late going back to Adam, so certainly my sincere apologies to him for having it longer than I should have. So let's take a look at the specs, overall impressions, and talk a little bit about Adam. So again, the ACP model, and this one comes in with a blade length of about 3.75 inches, handle length of just about 5 inches. It does weigh in at 4 ounces on my scale, has a handle thickness of 0.55 inches, and it does use GTC cage bearings, a ceramic detent, and CTS XHP blade steel. It is a titanium liner lock, carbon fiber pocket clip, carbon fiber backspacer, and yeah. Those are pretty much all the specs there. Again, green micarta handles, and then there is a really cool copper pivot collar done by, I think, Tie Connections or something. But yeah. So again, 7th completed build. And he asked to send it to me to take a look, to give him some feedback. Didn't request a video by any means, but I'm always happy to share new makers with you guys. Because there's a lot of benefit to new makers. It's really cool to kind of be part of their journey early on. Their prices are more reasonable. They're very appreciative of business. It's not like they're doing you a favor. Not to say that all custom makers are like that, but there are certain makers where them selling you a knife is a favor to you. So, or you pay for that favor, aside from the asking price. But anyways, I won't get into that here. Let's just focus in on this really nice liner lock. So again, only the 7th completed model and his first liner lock build ever. Let's take a look at the blade here. Really nice, saber grind, partial flat. He did a stonewash finish on the flats, and then a nice belt satin on the primary grind and the swedge. Nice clean grind lines here on this blade, and this thing is razor sharp, very, very usable. See the plunge line, should be fairly easy to sharpen, no weird edges. Very attractive swedge, and yeah, really, really sharp. He's done a really good job with this particular blade. No jimping on the handle or on the flipper tab. Hasn't really been a problem in the slightest. So let's take a look at the action real quick. Nicely dialed on those GTC bearings and the ceramic detent. Lockup is, I don't know, probably 40% or so. And it is, actually it's really solid, very impressive lockup. Love what he did with the cutouts here for disengagement on these titanium liners. Really easy to disengage, no drama. If you want to sit there and fidget with the knife, you won't destroy your finger. Centering is perfect, and the grinds do look quite symmetric from side to side. I think he did a really good job. Adam has also been modifying a few of the War Admirals for Vlad over at Blades 101. So Vlad sent him, I don't know, probably 10 different War Admirals, and he's done some custom grinds on those, and the work looks really clean. So, definitely nothing to worry about. He also did a similar chamfer here where the flipper tab is, so you don't have any sharp edges, and it does match, of course, the liner lock cutouts. So clean, kind of a symmetric design language. Nice green micarta, rounded handles, and kind of a nice, nicely offset with those copper pivot collars. So Forgot to check if the pivot are titanium or stainless steel, but certainly some nice pivots there. And he does send off his blades to get heat treated elsewhere. I believe this one's coming in at about 60 on the Rockwell scale. So here's a look at the carbon fiber backspacer. Pretty flush, just about perfect. Just about perfect everywhere. So same thing with the liners and the micarta meet up here. Just about perfect all the way around. So carbon fiber pocket clip works pretty well. Obviously carbon fiber doesn't have as much spring tension as other types of clips in a 3D format, but it works. It works well in my jeans, so no complaints there. Nice 3D sculpted. And then you can see if we get real up close to the carbon fiber backspacer. So, again, fit and finish functionally, it's really well done. Really impressive to see what these guys can do so early. Kind of in a knife making journey there. If I was on my 7th folder, it sure as hell wouldn't look like this. So, is this knife absolutely perfect? Does it compare with someone who's been making knives for 20 years? No, it doesn't. But here's the thing that I like about Adam's work. From a fit and finish standpoint, this knife is perfect. The way that it flips, the way that it locks up, its usability in the pocket. There's really no complaints. If we want to talk about it from like a detail standpoint, or is everything kind of like absolutely perfect? No, it's not. But again, this is really early in his knife making career, and he's also not charging very much. In fact, I don't know what he's charging for this particular knife. When we were talking about it, he let me know that he would like to get to the point where his knives are worth $400. And I told him straight up, I said, I've handled a lot of knives, and I think this is every bit $400 as compared to, the different customs that I've handled, anywhere from maybe $500 to, what's the most expensive? $5,000. I've handled $500 knives to $5,000 knives direct price, and I think this is every bit worth $400. What he's going to charge for it, I'm not entirely sure, but again, I think if you were to pick this up and it was a knife that you were going to carry and use, you would absolutely love it, because it does what it's supposed to do. It locks up perfectly. It's solid. It flips well. There's no lock stick at all. So no blade play in any direction. So it's again. I've featured other makers. Sam Johnston I had one of his early models, maybe number 9 or so, and same, it's kind of the same portion in his journey. Everything was perfect from a functional standpoint. And when new makers can get the lockup and, the action down on an early folder, all they really have to do from there is just work on the refinement and the details and the little things that make the knife more interesting. I've handled knives in the $1,200 range that had shitty lockup. So, that's the most important thing when you're taking a look at a custom knife. So anyways, those are kind of some of my thoughts in regard to new makers. They're hungry for business. They care about what their customers think. Every knife that they send out is probably a knife that has more than 40 hours in it, and I think that's really cool. I think it's really special in terms of how you feel about a knife, along with how it performs and how it carries. So he has had some help in his journey from 2 other relatively new makers as well, Matt Degnan of Deg's Blades, and then Mark Varga, I believe it's Varga Blades. I've done videos on both of them, customs and also some of the production collaborations for Matt Degnan. So really cool, he was able to hook up with some really nice guys to get some pointers to help refine. But again, his work here, I think it speaks for itself. He's also had quite a few customs and productions go through his hands, so he's had an opportunity to kind of take apart and look and study, different knives. These days, pretty much all of his customs have been sold in order to pay for the equipment, sanders, tumblers, all that good stuff that costs an arm and a leg. So anyways, just a quick dirty look at a knife from a new maker. Again, this is Adam Purvis. the ACP model, and I will put all the links to his, at least his Instagram. I think that's the only media outlet thus far, in the description box below. So anyways, guys, thanks again to Adam for letting me borrow this, and my apologies for having it for so long. If you enjoyed taking a look at this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And a little bit behind, so a lot more videos to come. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.